Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one for you this morning. We got news of unstoppable domains. Crypto names have integrated with a huge search browser, and we're going to talk about that. Brian Brooks news, you'll be able to catch him in just a couple of days. Ripple and the Climate Accord, we'll get into that. DC's FinTech Week just got an enormous new partner, and we're going to cover that as well. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, guess where he's been most of this past week? In DC, baby. Does that mean regs for crypto soon? SEC files opposition to Brad and Chris' motion to seal. We'll touch on that for a second as well. And somebody just shared, and I'm going to share their name when we get to it. Since 2016, XRP has been exempt from being a security. We'll take a look at that information as well. And by the way, the IMF and Ripple, they got something brewing, baby. We're going to take a look at it right now. Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at @BackupBradleyAbove at the top of the screen and everything we're talking about here. Here we see it is really big news for unstoppable domains and .crypto holders. Brave integrates .crypto blockchain domains, expanding access to the Web 3.0. Brave users can access 30,000 decentralized websites, 700,000 blockchain domain names. You look down here, and blockchain domain provider Unstoppable Domains is integrating with privacy-oriented web browser Brave to provide native browser support for .crypto domains. Now, they already have the Google Chrome extension, right? They're hooked up with Opera, and now we have Brave. This is a very big deal. It's Web 3.0, baby. It's not stopping. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers this morning. 2.2 trillion plus, ladies and gentlemen, and Bitcoin down below 50,000. Ethereum under 4,000. Cardano hits an new all-time high, $2.33 on a tear at 44.35% up on the 7-day. And congratulations to them. XRP, however, sitting at 136 this morning, off by almost 15% on the 7-day and more than 3% on the 24-hour. Let's take a look at the range very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, because what we all really want to know is will it go up? And will it go up eventually? And what is all this about? We're ranging between 132 and 144 right now, sitting at 135 for a price. We will talk about this. First thing I want to show you to put you at ease, not financial advice from me or anyone we cover here, but the reality is the shared information from Dark Defender, who has been absolutely spot on through this time, as well as many other experts and technical analysts we look at on this channel. We see here that the support is at $1.33. We're at $1.35. We're floating just above the $1.33 support line. If we should break below that, we should start looking to $1.26 as the next line of support. If XRP doesn't hold that, we could fall down to $1.13, and below that possibly 90 cents and even 70 cents. All of these support lines, if we should fall in price, are lines of support we look to see if it will hold and begin to bounce and turn around. Looking at the resistance here, 144 at 135. If we get up to 144 and get above it and range above it, as well as the price be above it, we could then see the next push for 166, 184, 272, and ultimately new all-time highs. We do know that Dark Defender has revised his Q3 price target from $120. We'll take a look at what that is before we get out of here today as well. Let's get on with the news. Brian Brooks is in the news, and he will be at Business Week live Wednesday on May 19th at 11:10 a.m. So if you want to check him out, I'm sure that he's going to have some incredible information and insights, because that guy is just all over this space like nobody's business. Now, looking here from Mr. 1984, shout out to you, I think formerly Spiros, right? I think it was. But anyway, this is not about climate. This is about control, a UN agenda created by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Bitcoin is and was a red herring created by the intelligence agencies, he says. Ripple will play a major role in the new digital system of control. Elon knows this, and so does Brad. Well, so does this Brad. And I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and play this and thank you for the clip. But what I'm going to do is just show you
cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
It's about climate accord, but then I want to show you that Ripple is a part of this climate accord, which plays into the hand of what the current administration and the international narrative around the world is about, right? A great reset, a new Bretton Woods, build back better, going green, right? The Paris Accord, all of these things, right? Carbon net neutral, these things are very real. These terms and catchphrases are for a very real reason. Listen to this.
Bitcoin and Ether are becoming mainstream, and the primary technology underpinning the cryptocurrency industry, blockchain, is earning its place in dozens of industries, from healthcare to logistics to the energy sector. Large enterprises are starting to accept cryptocurrencies as an alternative to conventional fiat payment. Non-fungible tokens issued on top of blockchain platforms are supporting artisans in new and exciting ways. Surging demand for crypto and the accelerating adoption of blockchain-based solutions has surfaced a critical issue: the large and growing energy consumption of cryptocurrency and blockchains, and the climate impact of their energy use. Industries from across the global economy are beginning to decarbonize their operations. We can do the same in crypto. We have the opportunity to decarbonize the industry. That's why the Crypto Climate Accord was born. Inspired by the International Paris Climate Agreement, the Crypto Climate Accord is focused on decarbonizing the cryptocurrency industry in record time. Global nonprofits Energy Web, Rocky Mountain Institute, and the Alliance for Innovative Regulation are launching the Accord in cooperation with a growing list of fintech, crypto, and energy industry leaders. Our collective ambition will create wins for both the planet and the global economy.
Oh, and look who's there. Yeah,
It's the Accord will catalyze one of the fastest industry-wide decarbonization efforts ever.
And there you see it. I didn't see Bitcoin anywhere on there, did you? Did I miss it? Look, there's some issues here with proof of work tokens. And truthfully, there's issues here with proof of stake tokens with high gas fees. We're seeing evidence of that on the Ethereum network. And we know that the reality is that Ripple and the SEC lawsuit is really about defining this crypto space broadly. We've heard Brad Garlinghouse say it and many other people in the space say it. And that's what we're talking about with this case. But before we get there, I want to remind people, Dr. Chris Brummer, who is absolutely amazing, shout out to you, my friend. Washington's DC's 5th annual FinTech Week is set for October 18th through the 21st. And look at this brand new partner coming on. It's the BIS, baby. And they will be tackling central bank digital currencies, DeFi, cybersecurity, big data, AI, financial inclusion, and much more. This is going to be amazing, and Dr. Brummer is an amazing host and MC to that FinTech Week. I cannot wait. Now, to go along with that notion, guess who's been in D.C. this week with meetings of members of Congress and heads of various federal agencies? Regulations coming soon for crypto? You know, I'm reminded of the phrase when it comes to government, things move very slow until they move very fast. You know, it's very positive in my eyes that Brian Armstrong from Coinbase was sitting there with DC, members of Congress, and heads of various federal agencies. Sound like a regulatory sandbox coming our way? That would be amazing. All right, and let's see what we have here. And he says, spent most of the week in D.C. With the members of Congress and heads of various agencies. I'm not going to read all of these, but I want to get down to this. Number 6, there is not a ton of regulatory clarity today in the U.S. because crypto is not just one thing. Some cryptos might be securities. Some are commodities, CFTC. Securities would be SEC. Some are currencies, property, treasury of the IRS. And some are none of the above. Well, this is exactly the problem, right? And I believe that the case between Ripple and the SEC is to broadly, I'm speculating here, is to get a convertible virtual currency designation for XRP at the very least, so it can operate as a currency, but not challenge the legal tender status of government fiat money, albeit paper money or digital currency money. That, to me, is the ultimate place where XRP needs to live in order to get the full benefit and full-scale intended use. They could structure it other ways and make it work too, but the reality is that to me is where I hope, and it falls under the Treasury to me in my eyes at that point. That would be the best case scenario. We do know that a few days ago, Charles Gasparino from Fox News was on a clip on Twitter talking with Hester Peirce from the SEC, and he said that their news organization was directed from the current Biden administration to seek the Treasury for an answer on crypto and crypto regulation. Things that make you go, So again, understanding that Gary Gensler now at the SEC sees the majority of cryptocurrencies as securities. Now, I know I've caught a lot of flack for that, but that is the truth. And he has said it many, many times. Now, let's go down here to this other section, because this is exactly what I believe this meeting this week was about. It is analogous to the moment in 1997 when the Clinton and Gore administration announced the Electronic Commerce Initiative in 1997, which allowed for a regulatory sandbox for the internet itself. I believe that we need to see a moment like this happen for crypto. And if we do, I believe it would probably fall in line with why Gary Gensler is at the SEC. And this case is so important, not only for Ripple and XRP, but the entire crypto space, that we could get those clear distinctions about what is a security, what is property, and what is a commodity, and what becomes a currency itself. So that to me is extremely, extremely exciting and extremely bullish that there's a lot more going on behind closed doors than we're even aware of. I didn't know before today Brian Armstrong was in Washington, D.C. meeting with those important people, and that is very bullish. All right, now looking here, this is from James Filan. Thank you, James. You're amazing the way you release information for all of us. And this is the SEC filing opposition to individual defendants' motion to fully seal memoranda regarding legal advice between Ripple, Chris Larsen, and other legal parties. He took legal advice he had and he shared it with a third party. And there was like 13 or 14 documents or something like that that were shared. And they're basically saying because he broke that attorney-client privilege and brought in a third party to share, that should allow the SEC to at least see all of those documents because he broke that relationship of confidentiality. Now, per Jeremy Hogan here, he has acknowledged that could give the SEC a look into those documents, and if the judge felt like it, they could use that as a reason to kick the door open further to see even deeper into what Ripple's doing in regards to internal communication. However, we don't know what the judge will do, but at the end of the day, things look much stronger for Ripple than they do the SEC. And there is a big possibility that if they allow some of these documents that were shared in, more than likely we may not see all of them because of attorney-client privilege, right? So we will see what goes on there. And obviously Ripple is winning in a big way when it comes to the overall fair notice defense that they have decided to use, and that is paying huge dividends for them so far. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that, but there is more to talk about here. Sam Halleck reminds us that since 2016, Ripple XRP has been exempted from being a security. If you take a look at this document here, it says Form D, Notice of Exempt Offering of Securities, has Ripple Labs as the user and their address here in San Francisco and related persons and parties involved, a normal thing you'd see in a document filled out. You come here and it cites here Rule 506 as a federal exemption here and exclusion. And if you go into what is shared here, 506 rule, conducting an offering under 506 can raise an unlimited amount of money and can sell securities to an unlimited number of accredited investors. An offering under 506, however, is subject to the following requirement: no general solicitation or advertising to market the security. So here you could really make the argument that they were cleared to sell these assets, right? Without any problems from the SEC. I mean, listen, the question here is whether you consider them securities, right? The truth is that the Ripple complaint in the case is really about what? It's about the sales of OTC being unregistered securities, suggesting that they've done option contracts with the client's partners or customers, right? And we know that R3, in fact, had an option contract. So those sales in OTC may, in fact, be unregistered securities because they were option contracts. That's not a big deal. And that could be a fine and we move on, right? But what the real issue to me is that line 82, Ripple also undertook to achieve its goal of widespread distribution of XRP by exchanging XRP for non-cash consideration. This is acknowledging pre-allocation, everybody. Widespread distribution for non-cash consideration, such as labor and market-making services. This is how you do it. It's like lending someone money because they see it as money, not a security, but as money. We may have had a security contract over the issuance of this digital asset that is money, right? But that's how I see this here. And I think it was one of the smartest things that Ripple could have done. And I believe this line 82 is the SEC's acknowledgement that they achieved it. And that's why they're suing them and not Dogecoin, right? Or some other coin, because of this issue here, that it was achieved and they were able to work out deals with customers and hundreds of customers and partners that are on RippleNet now, right? So that to me really solidifies the deal why we are here in this moment. And here's the other thing, IMF has been clearly for a long time. And some of you have seen this that I covered last August, and stay with me because we got something else to look at today. But the reality here is simply this, is that in last August, we covered this here on the channel, and this is what I'm talking about, what we covered. This is why I talk about FSOC, which I covered before this document even came out. But they reinforced the understanding that FSOC, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, regulatory agency connected to the Treasury, serves as a formal cooperation arrangement in place, in addition to state regulators and involvement from the financial institutions of whatever, I can't remember what it is, but another agency involved, and that's been the whole problem, right? But the reality here is that various cooperation arrangements between state and federal regulators are in place. They are in place, governed by memorandums of understanding. For day-to-day supervision, state performed joint and alternating exams of several thousand state charter banks and credit unions with the FDIC, which is now seeking public comment from banks and other institutions on crypto and digital asset custody. And that is for insurance reasons, because they could be insuring that entire market. Federal Reserve, the CFPB, the Federal Reserve doing 5 test pilots, right? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has already cited exact documentation that Ripple and XRP could be used to effect settlement for cross-border transactions for banks and credit unions, right? And then we see here FinCEN, which has already said XRP is a currency. Now, if we just come down here really quickly as a reminder to 105 here, 104, right here, 104. Also, network or network-based application service providers such as RippleNet are not subject to specific regulatory requirements and do not need a specific license. And here they highlight RippleNet right there and there. I mean, this is being just pointing it out. It goes on to talk about, at that time, the MoneyGram relationship, which is now no longer. But the reality here is I move to this document that we're talking about now, which is from Sam Halleck. Reserve currencies in an evolving international monetary system. And again, even more evidence that the IMF is deeply involved with the idea and the understanding of using Ripple and XRP. The paper also finds a rise in inertial effects, implying that the U.S. dollar dominance is likely to endure, but historical precedents, of sudden changes suggest that the new developments, such as emergence of digital currencies and new payment ecosystems, could accelerate the transition to a new landscape of reserve currencies. And that's what we're talking about here, is about XRP serving ultimately as a reserve bridge currency to the world here. And here we see it further in the digital currencies can take on various forms and can be issued by both public and private sectors by both public and private sectors. Implications of digital currencies for reserve holdings would depend on which kind of digital currency prevails. Many central banks are seriously considering issuing a central bank digital currency. We know that is in the tune of 80% are engaging in work related to that now. Now, we go on here and we see here private digital currencies, PDCs, could also emerge as important internal currencies. In 2019, Facebook announced plans to launch Libra, single currency private stablecoin with potential global reach. So, and we know that if you don't know this is an interesting fun fact. Before they called it Libra and then they changed it to Diem coin, the Facebook coin was referred to as global coin. Coming down here, we see that private digital currencies can take various forms with difference in design and stability of value. For instance, while first-generation cryptos assets, for example, like Bitcoin and Ripple, are denominated and share and their own unit of account and exhibit large price volatility, stablecoins seek to minimize the price fluctuations. Obviously, you know the rest of the drill. This is the document here. I'm going to share the link underneath of the comment section for all of you to have as well. And matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. It's on my Twitter. I'll put it on my Twitter instead because I have to stop posting underneath the comments of my own videos. Guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, there are so many imposters on the channel. I can't comment on my own videos really anymore, pretty much, because I don't want anyone to confuse. If you see something on there, it's not me. I'm never going to ask you for money. So just be very careful. But that document is on Twitter, so follow me there to get it. And is any of this hard to believe? I asked this in the last video. This is a recent publication or resharing of what we know about Ripple piloting a private ledger from Ripple for central banks and their central bank digital currencies. The CBDC private ledger will handle tens of thousands of transactions per second, initially with the potential to scale to hundreds of thousands of transactions per second over time. And that's what this is really all about, ladies and gentlemen. And if you understand that this is something Ripple is sharing right now, they just shared it yesterday. This is something that was shared by Ripple yesterday. I mean, this is how active they are pursuing this, regardless of the United States Securities Exchange Commission and the lawsuit that's going on there. And by the way, and when we're here, I wanted to tell you, Dark Defender changed and revised his price target for Q3 of 2021, and it's gone from $125 XRP to $150 XRP. So head on a swivel out here, ladies and gentlemen. If you follow price action every single day, you could be fooled, you could be tricked, you could deceive yourself because you're not stepping back to look at the bigger picture, right? And the bigger picture involves the fundamental news and the technicals, right? So I think it's the two together. It's never just one or the other, that's for sure. This is going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Make sure you share with somebody you know and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to tell you that I Trust Capital is the best gold, crypto, silver IRA on the planet, bar none. Link in the description and comment section. Make sure you check it out, and I'll catch all of you on the next one.